What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Tip Your Bartender. This is the show where I teach you how to make a brand new craft cocktail. I am, of course, the bald and ginger bearded bartender here to serve you. My guest today, you've probably seen her all over social media. She has probably even potentially sold you a home. She's a dog enthusiast. Without further hesitation, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ms. Madelyn Brown.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you being here. It is a pleasure to have you on here. Fun fact, this is the first time that I've met you.
Yeah. It's actually not uncommon for that to happen because I'll become friends with people on social media and you'll be following them for years sometimes.
Yeah.
You feel like you know them and you meet them. You're like, how is this the first time that we met? I feel like I know you.
Exactly. Well, it is again a pleasure to have you on here. Are you ready to make a cocktail?
I'm ready.
Sweet. Before we get started, I'm just curious. I asked all my guests this question. What's your bartending experience?
I mean, I have restaurant experience and I've put together a cocktail from instructions.
Okay.
But
Sweet.
actual bartending experience, zero.
All right. Nice. Well, I'm going to guide you through literally each step.
Awesome.
And we're going to get to where we need to be.
I'm excited.
So today, we're going to start off with our Teremana Tequila. If you don't know, it is Dwayne The Rock Johnson's tequila. Pretty tasty.
Okay.
We have our Grand Marnier. We have our Trace agave syrup. And then we have our Angeline Pinot Noir for a little fun surprise.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Today, since we are getting into spooky season, we are making a Vampire Margarita.
Oh, okay.
So, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get to it. First things first, we're going to take our tool here. This is called the jigger. I like to measure everything out just so it tastes the same. We're going to start off with our tequila, and we're going to go 2 ounces. So this whole thing is going to be 2 ounces.
Perfect.
Yep.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. Perfect.
I'm killing it already.
Yeah, we're off to a great start. I feel like you have done this before. We're going to pop open our Grand Marnier here. And on the flip side of this little tool here, we're going to go 3/4 ounce of Grand Marnier. Oh, yeah, we're going for it. Very nice.
A little extra, never hurt. I'm a big fan of extra.
There we go. We're going to take our agave syrup, and we're going to fill it up to the 1/2 ounce.
Real half.
The real half, yes. Well, you can put a little extra in here. It depends on, how sweet you want it. Beautiful.
Okay.
Oh, we're killing it.
All right.
We're crushing it. We're going to take our fresh lime. I'm a big fan of fresh juice. So we have our little squeezer. I got your lime right here for you. So we're just going to squeeze our lime right in there. Yes.
I like the lime.
There we go. That's our cocktail for now.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is take our little ice here, put it into our shaker there.
Woo! Okay, we're a little aggressive.
We're going to take the larger part right on top there and smack it down. Turn it around.
Okay.
Double hand. We're just going to shake it.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
This is where I think I excel.
And good. There we go. Just one. And to pop this off, I usually take the palm of my hand on the side and just. This is always the hardest part.
I work out, I swear.
There we go. We're going to take our strainer.
This one, okay.
Right up on the top.
Okay. Wait, no.
Right there. It's okay.
This is why this is not my profession. This is my first time, okay?
It's great. You're doing well. I've seen a lot worse, trust me.
Okay.
So then we're going to take our little coupe glass here. And we're going to take our fine strainer on the other hand.
Okay.
So how are you going to want to hold this?
Oh, man. It's getting complicated. Okay. I got
there
this.
we go. Yeah,
I have
just
faith
like
in myself.
that. Just like that. And we're going to double strain right in there.
Okay. You know what?
Okay.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's gonna be okay.
We have an ice cube in there.
It looks great.
It's gonna be a hot day, so I wanted it extra
There we
cool.
go. All right, now that we have this, last but not least, we're gonna take our Pinot Noir.
Okay.
We're gonna take our bar spoon, and
Okay.
we're gonna float on the top. I have the utmost confidence in you.
That makes one of us. Okay. This is gonna be great. I'm just.
You go as little or as much as you want.
Let's do a lot.
There we
We're gonna go crazy. This feels right. I don't know. Is that a normal amount?
Yes.
Did I do that right?
Oh, that looks fantastic.
She's killing it.
God.
She's making up for spilling ice everywhere.
That looks fantastic because we have that color separation right there. Chef's kiss. Maddie, that's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is our Vampire Margarita for you. So,
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To you. Let's see how we did.
Ooh. Feeling good about it. Strong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're gonna.
That tequila red wine combo is something else.
My two favorite things. I've never combined them before. Not on purpose anyway.
Right.
I like it.
Right on. That's a fantastic cocktail. Vampire Margarita. Let's get to chatting, shall we?
All right.
Cheers to you once again.
Cheers.
Oh.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious.
That's gonna get a buzz.
I'm usually not like too surprised by cocktails, but this one was quite a surprise. So we're off to a fantastic
I'm
start.
just full of surprises over here.
Again, I just want to thank you for being here. It really does mean a lot for you to help me out with this show, taking your time out of your day to sit down and have a chat. So it means a lot.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
I would just like to first get into talking about dogs.
I love dogs. My favorite.
If you folks have not seen, Maddie has a very rambunctious dog named Leia.
I love her.
Now, what I'm curious about is I feel like you have a little bit of a Star Wars theme with your dog names.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Yeah. It makes me sound a lot cooler than I actually am. It makes it sound like I'm a huge geek. I'm not. I got Yoda when I was in college.
Mhm.
And I was living with roommates at the time. My dad was battling cancer, and then my stepmom got cancer, and I was like, no one would fix this. A puppy,
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel like, there's a lot of things you could do, and I feel like a puppy was the good choice.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'd always wanted a Boston Terrier. I got this really ugly little thing off of Craigslist, and he had these like big ears, and my roommate was like, "Oh, he looks like Yoda," and then it just kind of stuck. So it makes me sound a lot like nerdier and cooler than I actually am. But
Yeah.
it's just because he looked like Yoda.
Okay, that's fair.
And then with like Leia, like Yoda passed away suddenly.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, and I was devastated by it because he was my companion through a lot of like ups and downs throughout my life, and so many different shifts and changes that I was devastated. And then so when I got another Boston Terrier, I obviously wanted to do a little ode to Yoda.
Right.
So then and then Princess Leia just kind of fit for her because it was like very I don't know, like a warrior kind of like boss bitch kind of vibe, but also like really cute.
Yeah. So what's kind of like the comparison between the two?
Oh my God.
Are they like night and day?
So their similarities is that they're both like pretty energetic.
Yeah.
Huge personalities, but yeah, totally different dogs. Yeah, Yoda was really weird.
Okay.
And he was like, he snored but he was like mostly pretty kind of like lazy. Like I didn't have to exercise him if I didn't want to. Like he could just like, as long as he had access to a backyard, he could run around here and there. He was pretty like good.
Yeah.
With Leia, she's so high energy, and when I say she's a boss bitch, like I'm not joking. Like, she's an alpha female. She like humps. She humps my legs.
Oh my gosh.
Yoda never humped. He never did anything like that.
What?
She like bullies all of the dogs at the dog park, and she's just she's a nut. She's like terrorizes my whole life.
Puts
every
people
day.
in their place.
Yeah.
But it's a
sure.
good kind of love.
But she's also, and both of them, she's a little bit more like cuddly and sweet than Yoda was, which is interesting. So she has this like duality where she's a little bit like very spicy, but then also very sweet.
Chill.
And so she loves to cuddle. She likes a lot of attention, like a lot of attention. Like she demands attention.
Oh wow.
Okay.
But you know what? I
You
kinda
like it.
like, I get it. I get it. Some we need attention sometimes.
Yeah,
And
that's
she's
very
like,
fair.
no.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
And then you got her, I mean, so Yoda passed away.
Hmm.
I feel like you got her kinda, like, right away.
Yeah.
Was that just to kinda fill some kind of void?
Yeah, for sure. It was
Yeah.
like within a couple of weeks, and I wasn't in the place to get a puppy, and I was actually like kind of pissed off. Like,
Oh,
I'm not like mentally prepared for a puppy. You would think that I would have just like gotten an adult dog that
yeah.
but no, I wanted a cute little puppy, and I was in a slow open house one day, and I
Mhm.
was scrolling through Craigslist like, what puppies are here? What Boston Terriers are available? And
Yeah.
I found her, and then I was, like, going to do it, and I was like, "No, it's not smart, like, I'm
Yeah.
really not in a place, like, I'm super busy.
Yeah.
I'm not really in a place to, like, take on a puppy."
Yeah.
And then they, like, followed back with me and like, "Oh, like, you can get her for, like, $400," which is super cheap,
Yeah.
but so she was a discounted puppy, and I
Oh my
now I know why.
Where's the warranty?
I know, I'm like, "I think they sold me, like, a miniature pit bull and
Oh
not
my
an actual
god.
Boston Terrier," but yeah, she's fun. But yeah, she did kind of like take that place because there was a void. There was like a hole. I
Yeah.
knew I couldn't like go on with my life. Couldn't go on with my life without a dog in it.
Right.
A puppy was biting off a lot more than I could chew,
Yeah.
but she just had our birthday, so she's been alive
Yes.
for 2 whole years. So like
Wow.
so far so good. No no lawsuits so far. So,
No, I think it's important, like, I I I've had dogs pass away too, and, on one end, I think people are like, "Well, you should wait a little bit, before you just jump into another dog," but I don't know if those people have experienced that
yeah.
kind of loss before, right?
Yeah,
So it's like, life without a dog is pretty bland,
for
pretty
sure.
boring. So, I mean,
Maybe if I was, like, mentally prepared for Yoda's passing, I might have
mhm,
been like, "Okay, like, I think I'm ready to go dogless for a while," but he passed away very suddenly.
mhm,
Like, it was, like, one day I found a lump on his throat, and then,
mhm.
like, within a week, it was so big that it was, like,
Oh,
he
wow.
couldn't breathe, and I had to put him down, and so I
Oh,
wasn't,
wow.
like, mentally prepared to be without a dog,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and so
yeah.
it definitely felt like a huge hole and not just a, like, "Oh, like, I've been ready for this, it's his time,"
Right,
kind
right,
of
right, right,
thing.
right.
So I'm like,
Oh,
"I'm
okay.
not ready to be without a dog."
Oh, and that's a
Yeah.
completely different experience. That's not something that I've experienced
Yeah.
because, with the dogs that I've had to put down, we kind of like knew for a while.
Yeah.
So, holy shit.
Yeah. It
Um,
was pretty traumatizing, so
I can imagine. But here we are now,
yeah.
life is good.
Leia's amazing. I mean, like, she's freaking crazy, but I wouldn't do life without her, and she's my buddy, and yeah, I love her.
Partner for life.
Yeah.
So you did mention, Leia is rowdy and rambunctious, requires a lot of attention and exercise,
Yeah.
which leads me into your fitness journey
Mhm.
and your path to being, somebody that is passionate about exercising
Yeah.
and whatnot. You post every day some sort of workout.
Yeah.
What was kind of the spark or decision behind like, hey, this is gonna be part of my life now?
Yeah. Well, I feel like I've always kind of, like, had, like, some sort of fitness journey, like, I grew up playing, like, soccer and
Mhm,
sports, and then after high school, I think I, like, would go I don't know, like, kind of big ranges of,
mhm.
like, going really hard and then, like, not doing anything at
Yeah,
all and back
yeah.
and forth. And then eventually I, discovered, like, Beachbody, which, like, if you're not familiar with Beachbody, it's like,
Plug it.
I mean, it's I don't like well, I used to, like, endorse it and, like,
Yeah,
sell, like and I used to be a coach with it. I don't really
yeah.
do that anymore.
Uh-huh.
But it's like the Shaun T, like, Insanity, all of those kind of things,
Okay.
and it's all online, but you can, so I I got asked by my best friend to be part of, like, her, like, boot camp, which is basically an accountability group. So it's, like,
Okay.
these online programs, and then you can, like, join an accountability group online and then, like,
Interesting.
actually stick with it. So
Okay.
I feel like that was the first time when I started doing that, and, like, really I was in it to support my friend who was,
Yeah,
like, hosting something,
yeah.
but, like, in supporting her, I had to really, like, fully, like, engage in what
And
we were
what are you
doing,
doing? Yeah.
and so then it actually ended up starting to, like, started to get consistent,
Mhm,
and it was, like, nothing crazy, like, 30 minutes a day, but
mhm,
it was something that I could, like, really incorporate into my
mhm.
day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Because before when I would, like, go to the gym, it would be, like, a whole 2-hour process of,
Yes.
like, getting there and, like, changing,
Yes.
like, I don't know, so many things, but, like, at
Yes.
home, it felt like it was a little bit more doable. So
Yeah.
eventually, and then I started just, like, working on my mindset around, like health and fitness and being more about like it being more about like mental health rather than just, of course, like I want to look good as well.
Yeah.
But then I started to change my mindset around like how it benefits me mentally too.
Right. Okay.
And just all those kind of things. And so then eventually just kind of made sense that I would also promote the products and things if
Yeah.
I was like doing it.
Yeah.
So then there was a few years where I was like promoting the Beachbody like products and hosting my own accountability groups. And I got a lot of fulfillment out of just helping other women like become like, consistent with their health and fitness
Yeah.
journey because so
Yeah.
many of us struggle with like our body image and with like our fitness journey. So it was really something like enjoyable for me to do outside of my career. That gave me like passion and inspiration and like I had to grow and
Yeah.
evolve and um all those kind of things with that journey. But and then yeah, it's just I got used to like posting about my
Yeah.
so even when I, stopped doing the coaching thing, it's still part of my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And I still get messages every day of like, wow, like you're inspiring me and all those kind of things. And for me, it's just kind of like brushing my teeth
Yeah.
because I've been doing it for
Right.
so
It's just
long.
part of your life now.
Yeah, because
So
I
it's a
started like
lifestyle.
posting them like in like 2017,
Oh wow.
2018. So it's been
Okay.
a lot of years of just posting it
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not like a big deal to me,
Yeah.
but I know it inspires other people
Yeah.
and they get a little like glimpse into my life and part of my like daily routine and
Yeah.
habits.
Yeah.
So
That's gonna be pretty fulfilling.
yeah.
Um, and that kind of leads into you started a women's like hiking club, if I'm
Yeah.
correct.
Yes. Yes.
What was the idea behind that? The same kind of,
Yeah.
trying to motivate people, or how did that come about?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of ways to get more, like, involved with, like, my social media community
Oh, okay.
and be more, like, physical connections,
Mhm.
right? Because
Mhm.
like, you can connect with people on social media, which I think is great, and you
Mhm.
can, like, really easily connect with people, but, having, like, in-person moments,
Yeah.
especially after the pandemic and being able to get together physically.
Yeah.
But I also wanted something that didn't really have to do with drinking, like, no
Right.
but, but I've had, like, some, like, I have had, like, my different I don't know, relationship with alcohol where I like, take pauses, but
Mhm.
I wanted something that was like a social event
Mhm.
that wasn't revolved around drinking or eating or even spending money. It was just about like getting outside and
Yeah.
connecting with nature and
Yeah.
other women.
Yeah.
It originally wasn't supposed to be a women's thing, but like most of my followers and most of the people that I connect with are usually women. So
Okay.
then I ended up turning it into just a women's only
This kind
thing.
of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because only women were showing up anyway. So I'm like, okay, well, this is women only then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been really like popular. And then I partnered with a shout out to Bay Area Adventure Gals, which is an online Facebook group where all like Bay Area women, it's like 30,000 women are in this group.
Oh wow.
So you can host events through this group, and
Uh-huh.
then that's how you can also meet new people. And
Oh,
so I
okay.
have new people coming into the social hikes every month because I do
Okay.
it once a month, or try to do it once a month.
Right.
And so I have new people coming in, and so it's just a way for people to get together and meet people and
Wow.
stay physically active.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, to your point, like, I think the older you get, it's hard to find things to do with other people, to your point, that doesn't involve drinking or
Yeah.
doesn't involve spending money.
Yeah.
Um, maybe not the healthiest of things. So I admire that.
Yeah.
It's definitely super motivating. Do you have, ladies that are like regulars? They'll come out multiple months in a row,
Yeah.
stuff like
For
that.
sure. I do. I have a lot of girls who I see almost every month and like whenever they can,
Yeah.
obviously, like depending because it's usually on a Saturday morning, so if they're out of town or whatever.
Yeah.
But I would say like at least 25% of the people who come are like people who come almost every month or
Hmm.
like try to.
Hmm.
And then the other 75% are girls who are just kind of like dropping in. There's
Wow.
always new people to meet, especially I think we're from the Bay Area. And
Hmm.
so I think we take for granted like the people that we know. But like,
Yes.
well, one, even if you're from the Bay Area, people are constantly moving. Like half my friends are
Yes.
gone,
Yeah.
or like in other areas. And then, a lot of people are coming in and
Right.
they're looking
It's
for
that
new
influx.
connections.
Yeah.
Or even if like your friends are from here, but like we grow and we outgrow people and
Yeah.
we're evolving. So it's
Yeah.
nice to like meet new people who have similar values and
Mhm.
interests as you.
Mhm. Mhm. I always think like I always want to like do something like that, enjoying these things, but I'm like,
Yeah.
part of me, and this is just me talking, whatever. Part of me, like when I'm not doing this, I get super antisocial.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I really want to talk to people that I
For
don't
sure.
know?
For sure.
But I think it's super cool that you do
I
that.
think that's normal. I also do think that, like, it's different for men. I think like women seek out like connections and friendships where like I just don't think it's as important to men. Not to say that they don't need it. I think they do.
Yeah.
But I think women like they make it a priority.
Yeah.
Where like men, they're like, I'm tired, I'm gonna go home. Or like if their friends aren't inviting them out, then they're like, whatever kind of thing.
That's fair.
But like for women, I think it's really, really like we crave community and connection, and we need that part of like our daily lives, or at least like weekly life.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
But I do think that like if a guy out there is like, thinking, hey, I need something like that, I feel like some kind of community for men would be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know like what it would look like. It might not be hiking. It might be like, I don't know.
Just a bunch of bros
I
going.
don't know.
I do
watching.
I do like golf.
It's like, or I don't know, maybe you guys go like watch football or whatever
Something.
you're gonna do.
Go play bocce ball.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't. Moreover, like, you posting your daily workouts and your hikes and all that stuff, you're really into social media.
Yeah.
You're always posting, as far as I can tell. In this day and age, it's important, especially in the line of work that you and I do.
Yeah.
What kind of like sparked the need or necessity to start posting more? Or has it always been kind of like social media is a thing now? This is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Like, how important is it to you to meet those daily post goals or something like that?
For sure. Well, it started like again back when I was in like Beachbody, and that was kind of like part of how I found women to like join my accountability group. So I was already kind of in the practice of it, and honestly, I just enjoy the creativity part of it and being able to express my personality.
Yeah.
And when I was in transition of like, so at one point I was like, okay, like coaching and fitness, like this is like fitness and health is a big part of like my habits and hobbies, but I don't think it's like a career for me.
Okay.
So when I was like transitioning, like one of the reasons why like real estate like aligned for me was because you can be yourself online and with social media, and it's actually like really embraced.
Yeah.
And so so it was nice to be able to like to take the skills that I learned with like social media and being able to express myself and connect with people on like in my mind, I hopefully on like an authentic kind of level.
Yeah.
And I just enjoy that. And I enjoy with, the whole connection and the whole process. And so I think in real estate, but like, with anything where you kind of need a personal brand, I think it's important to like give people a glimpse of who you really are.
Yeah.
Especially with real estate, it's such a personal journey and it's the biggest investment that someone's going to make.
Yeah.
And they really feel like you kind of have to have a relationship there, and they need to feel like they trust you and that they know you and that you're going to have their best interest at heart. And so so social media is a really good way of, I mean, yes, I also post like educational things or whatever, but also it's a way to people to get a glimpse of who I am so they can connect with me on a personal level as well. And I just enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah. And you do everything yourself, like
I do everything
editing
myself.
and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a control freak in that way because and I think it's important that you do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's going to come off super authentic and it's going to be you. Like if someone else was doing it for me, like, I mean, I guess you could do all the filming yourself, but it comes off more natural when it's you. And then when it's like your voiceovers and when it's your filming and when it's like, it just feels like people actually feel like they get to know you.
Yes.
But it is like to your point, like learning how to like edit things and being consistent with all those. It's like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
It's like a whole other job.
It really is.
And I'm curious. I mean, the reason I asked is because now that I'm doing this, I've found that it's like hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work that I didn't know was gonna be involved. And so keeping up with social media posts is something that 1 week I'll be like, okay, post.
For sure.
And then I'll forget one day and I'm like, oh shit. Like,
I'm the same way. I think like it's important just to start with like little goals.
Yeah.
Like maybe right now, if you're not posting at all, maybe your goal is once a week, like one like feed post a week. Stories for me is every day. It's easy.
Yeah.
Like literally take a picture or whatever, or whatever you're doing. It goes away in 24 hours. So it's very like non-committal.
Right.
But like on your feed, obviously can feel a little bit more intimidating, but like start with like maybe once a week and then try to expand on that. For me, my goal is like 5 times a week.
Okay.
I don't always meet that.
Yeah.
There's some weeks where I don't post at all because like I don't feel like it.
Yeah, you got things going out.
And that's the nice thing about real estate is like, social media is like part of the brand and part of the marketing, but it's not like everything. And I don't feel like if I don't post this week or this day that like my business is going to fall apart, because there's so many other like pillars to your business that are equally, if not more important. But social media is just more of like an addition to that. So I don't feel like, because that can feel really stressful when you feel like, oh, my business is going to fall apart if I don't post. Like, so
like
that's why it's like, you don't really want to build your whole business on social media, and social media can like go away at any moment.
Very true.
When I was
Very true.
like in the coaching world, like I had like my Instagram deleted randomly, and I had like someone hack it randomly.
Wow.
And so you can put all this work into it, and then you have to start over.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to put so much emphasis, and no one wants their life controlled by social media.
Right.
We're already all addicted to it like way too much as it is.
Agreed.
That like I have to like put myself into check sometimes.
Yeah. That's fair. Talking about real estate, you've been doing real estate for how long now? I think
It's been a couple years now.
years, right?
Yeah.
What were you doing before?
So I'm actually dual career, which I don't like talk about a lot.
Still?
Yeah. So I work ever since I graduated college. I've been working at Santa Clara County Social Services.
Oh.
So I work as an analyst there, and so I
Okay.
do that full time. It's my 9 to 5, and then I also do real estate. Yeah.
Wait, but today's Monday.
Yeah. This is lunchtime. I'm on my lunch break. This is noon. My boss is watching. It's 12 p.m. This is my lunch. Okay. I work remote on Mondays and Tuesdays, so it gives me a little bit more flexibility.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how I can kind of like manage it a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's another reason why social media is really like a huge leverage for me, because that is something that I can squeeze into the cracks of my day.
Yeah.
And post on my lunches, on my breaks, or whatever. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously I try to be as active and as like on top of everything in real estate, so that way people don't even know that I have another job, that like I am putting in that kind of like I'm putting in full-time effort and dedication into real estate.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, take away from my skills and ability. But so I still technically am. My goal is to go full-time by next year. Beginning of next year. So it's like coming up.
Oh, it is coming up. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll get there.
But yeah, so my goal is to go full-time next year. So I'm excited for that. And but yeah, I got it. So I did 10 years for the county government, but it's always been like a clock in, clock out kind of job. It's never really been like
it's a way to pay the bills.
Yeah, it's never felt like a real career to me. While like real estate is something that I feel like I can really put my whole heart, passion, and purpose into.
Yeah.
And so that's really what attracted me. Like there's a lot of things, but
well, so I mean, I guess overall, what was kind of the spark? Like one day you wake up and you're like, I think I want to get my real estate license.
Yeah. Well, I was so for a while, like I had my heart set on like going into health and fitness.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that on the side of my full-time job, and then like it just no longer was feeling alignment for me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like wow, I've been in like my county job for like 8-9 years now.
Yeah.
Like I need a change, and I want like a big change, but like now I don't know what like health and fitness. And then I started having this like existential crisis, like what am I going to do with my life, kind of thing.
Happens to me every day.
And and I went to school for psychology. I always knew I wanted to work directly with clients, and I do think like being in the health and fitness, like, and feeling like I was making an impact on people's lives, like that's really important to me. And so I wanted to go into a career that allowed me to do that, to feel like I was really helping people, also be able to leverage like my love for social media and then content creation and self-expression and creativity. And then also like I also love economics. And so it kind of just felt like a really good mix, because like as an agent, you're like a financial expert, you're an economics expert, you're a branding and marketing expert, and you're also like psychologist, because you're like helping people through like one of the most
different hats.
the most like complicated, stressful purchases of their life, really. So it just felt like a really good alignment for me. And it was the only thing that I could think of that made me excited and not make me want to cry.
Right.
So
which is important.
Yeah. I mean, now that I'm in real estate, I do still cry a lot. So like it's not all that it's looked cracked out to me. It's a lot harder than it looks on TV.
Yeah.
But I really like love it. And it's like kind of like the perfect thing for someone who has like ADD, because you get to like do a lot of different things. It's not the same thing every day. And I mean, some things are the same thing every day, but most things are different people, different places.
Right.
And it's also really helped me have like this newfound appreciation for the Bay Area and San Jose, which I've like grown up here.
Yeah.
But I've kind of like looked at it in a new light.
Okay.
Since getting into real estate.
Okay.
And
interesting.
I feel like a little bit like weirdly more like attached to like
Oh,
where I'm at. I don't know, because I feel like you have to, because you're basically like a brand ambassador for the city you live in, because you're
true.
like,
Very true.
buy real
Buy
estate here,
here.
invest here, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to really learn about what makes this such a good investment.
Yeah.
And then like in that, like I really believe in the product that we have, which is San Jose, real estate or Bay Area real estate, which is very expensive.
Yes.
I get it. I know. Everyone's, that's too expensive. I get
We know.
I know. But having that said, it's like you're not going to make, more return on your investment anywhere else.
Right. I think it's important because, it genuinely shows that you care about what you're doing and you care about the product that you're delivering to your clients. So kudos to you on that. Like, even if it is just a side hustle for now, like you're putting in the work. So
it's like it feels more like a full hustle, but don't tell my boss that.
So you do these open houses. How many open houses do you show like in a week?
Usually 2.
Okay.
And my goal is to do like 2 weeks, Saturdays and Sundays. Like if I'm busy on a Saturday, Sunday, sometimes I'll do like a Friday or a Monday.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a good way to just be in touch with like the inventory and like what's going on. They're usually not always my listings. They're like other listings from our office.
Okay.
And so it's just a way for me to like show, the inventory and things like that.
Yeah.
And then also I get the opportunity to meet like buyers who, are potentially looking for an agent, right? A lot of times they already have agents, but sometimes people are brand new to the market and they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they need some help and assistance. And so that's like a really great opportunity for someone to like walk in the door and need an agent. So
what they just I'm just curious because I have no idea, your company just like gives you keys to a house and they're like, go show people this house.
Well, kind of. I mean, so like they're all listings from our office, and so they're colleagues of mine.
Okay.
And either one, they can't host it themselves because they're busy that weekend, or 2, sometimes they don't like to host for whatever reason. Sometimes, like a lot of agents won't double end things. So if a buyer comes in, they're not going to represent both the seller and the buyer. It's not illegal to do that, but a lot of agents won't do it because it has like liability things that kind of come with it. So a lot of people just choose not to. So they'll have another agent who's there to basically represent the buyers.
Okay. I see.
But all agents have access to something called like a super key, which is like a Bluetooth key.
Oh.
So like you unlock a box, and so only like, DRE realtors can access these.
Yes.
So they don't usually have to like give you a key. You just but most of the time, well, not always. Like sometimes they're vacant, and so you can just go in. So yeah, they're like, hey, host an open house. It gives them free, marketing and advertising because I'm posting about it. I'm advertising it. People are coming in, so hopefully they get more like eyes on the property and that sort of thing. So it's kind of like a mutual beneficial arrangement.
Yeah. And so do buyers have to schedule a time to come by the house, or is it's just like come by and check out this place?
If you need a home privately shown, that's when you need it to be scheduled, and you need to be working with a realtor. You have to be like committed to a realtor.
Yeah.
If you want like a private showing, the open houses are open to anyone who wants to like see it. So if you ever see an open house sign and you're like curious, don't be afraid to walk in. That's literally what it's for.
That's
and you don't
crazy.
need you don't need any kind of buyer agreement. You can just walk in and check it out.
See the house.
Yeah. You can go
to like
cool. You can go to Los Altos and go see some $10 million homes.
Yeah.
If it's open, it's open.
First house you sold.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like?
That one was like really special because it was actually in the Cambrian neighborhood. One of my best friends from high school. I mean, it's kind of like a sad situation because her mom passed away, and so they were selling the family home that they had lived in their whole life.
Yeah.
And so it was very sentimental, and obviously it felt good to like. Obviously, I want to do a good job every time, but this one was really meaningful, and I really want to make sure that I exceeded expectations and got them the most money for their home, and like marketed the shit out of it and did everything. I mean, and this was like a best friend, so I mean, I was even there like helping paint it and getting it prepped for market, and it was a really successful sale, and so like I felt really good like getting them like top dollar for it, so yeah, it was super exciting.
Have you ever, like, you walk into a open house or a home that you're potentially going to sell? You ever walk into a house and you're like, damn, I wish I could have this house?
Oh my God, all the time. All the time. Yeah. I mean, the worst part is like going into houses and you're like, I would do it like this.
Yeah.
And it's like a $5 million home that there's like no way I could afford. But I'm like, I don't know what they're doing here, but this is what they show you.
Yeah.
But yeah, every day.
Right.
I mean, honestly, to own anything in this area is a dream.
Yeah.
I don't own personally, not yet. Like that's a dream of mine, especially since getting into real estate. I like realize the value of it.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge goal of mine. And so honestly, kudos to anyone who can even own a home here.
Very true.
Because it's not easy and
Yeah.
it takes a lot of hard work and discipline. I mean, depending on how much money you make.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people it's a little bit easier than for others, but I
Yeah.
think it's a huge accomplishment. And it's not everyone's dream, and it doesn't have to be. But for the people who it is, like that's like dope. Good for you.
Kudos, 'cause
Right?
it is
For sure.
not easy.
No,
So,
no.
cheers to y'all on that one.
Yeah. Cheers to you guys. I'm proud of you, and you should be proud of you too.
I want to go into just a little bit about daily affirmations, right?
Mm.
Because I see every day that you post some sort of inspirational quote or affirmation. Why is that important for you, and how does that set the tone for your day?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I think I started to get into like affirmations and just spirituality and mindfulness probably like after my dad passed away, which was in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, like I wasn't mentally prepared for like what grief would be like.
Mm-hmm.
And it really took a really hard toll for me. And I was in like a lot of like emotional and mental like anguish.
Yeah.
And the only thing that would like make me feel better is like meditation.
Yeah.
Cause it just like I just kind of like zoned out and like didn't think about my pain for like
Right.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I would have to do a lot of those like little 10-minute things
Yeah.
throughout the day in order
Yeah.
for me to get through the day.
Oh man.
So that was like the start of it. But like in general, like when my dad was sick, I had a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And I didn't, and like, you know, affirmations and like positive self-talk was was something that was really helpful for me every day.
Yeah.
And also just like having to have something to look forward to and thinking like there's a brighter future, like you can get through this day or whatever. And those kind of things was like personal like pep talks or things that I found online and like quotes that resonated with me always like really kind of like felt good and like helped me push through the day, even if like maybe we're gaslighting ourselves
Mm-hmm.
into like
Yeah.
into feeling better. Like I mean, whatever it takes,
Whatever it
right?
takes. Yeah.
So yeah, and so then there's like this one site that has like like an affirmation or a quote every day that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just post those every day to get like my morning started. And I also kind of like how it kind of breaks up like, okay, this is a new day.
Yeah.
And this is like what I'm, you know, people get a little insight into like what I'm doing throughout the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, this is a new day and this is what we're doing today.
There we
And
go.
then the quotes that I post on my workouts, those are actually from the meditation app that I use called Insight Timer. So if you're looking for a meditation app, I think it's free. I pay for it because they also has like these like courses that you can do that I like.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a free app and has like tons of meditations. So whatever you're looking for. But yeah, I just I like little quotes and things to think about and like meditate on every morning. And so yeah, that's how I like to start my day.
I find them pretty cool. Like
Good.
when I see your little quotes, I'm like, that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
You know?
they're kind of silly, but every once in a while, like, I think probably almost every day, there's someone who's like, "Wow, this really hit for me." And,
Yeah.
like, and it might not even be something that really resonates with me,
Right.
but I just post them every day, and then like, wow, like this one really got to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm glad this one.
Hey, we're all here to
Touched
help
home.
out each other.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
You did talk a little bit about your dad and how he passed away. If it's all right with you,
Yeah.
I'm curious to know because fuck cancer, by the way.
For sure.
My mom had breast cancer. She beat it,
Nice.
which, you know, thank God.
Yeah.
But my wife's dad passed away
Mm.
from cancer.
Mhm.
One of my best friends, his mom passed away from cancer. Like, it affects a lot more people than people might think.
Yeah.
You know, how, were you able to overcome the grief?
Yeah.
And are you still grieving over it? Like, I can't even imagine
Yeah.
the toll that it takes on somebody.
Yeah.
Where are you now with that?
Yeah.
And moreover, what kind of like legacy, so to say, do you wish to carry on from your dad?
Oh, I love that's such a good question. So the first part of the question was like, how
have you
with grief?
processed?
Yeah, it was like I mentioned, it was really freaking hard at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who like I am a naturally positive person. I like to feel good. So like sitting with that pain was so hard for me because I'm like constantly trying to like fix things and
Yeah.
be better and like feel better. And so it was really hard for me to just accept that like I was in a phase of life that was just painful.
Yeah.
And that I had to just be with it, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I really struggled with that for sure. And meditation helped me a lot. Journaling helped a lot. Eventually I did do like a year of sobriety. That kind of helped me process through my grief because, I was doing some things that maybe weren't super healthy for me at the time. And so like sobriety really helped me like
kind of get you back on track a
yeah.
little bit.
The first year is the hardest for sure. Every month it gets a little bit better. Every month you're like, oh wow, I feel like I'm like really getting past it. And then the next month you're like, wow, I was like a train wreck last month.
Yeah.
But like now I'm good. And then it does that like every month
Yeah.
until you hit the 1 year mark and you're like, wow, I got through a whole year.
Yeah.
And then that's the hardest part where it's like really with you every single day.
Yeah.
Now it's been like, 6, almost 7 years. I think it'll be 7 years this coming June.
Okay.
And at this point, it's not something that hits me every day. It's something that like, it comes up here and there. I think about my dad every day for sure, but it's not like this like painful loss feeling anymore.
Okay.
And it's going to be different for every single person and every different relationship and how you process and how much time that takes. So like for me, the first year was the hardest. After the second year, I was, feeling a little bit better. And there's a lot of like anxiety and things that like come with that as well. But I would say after like maybe the first 2 years, it got a lot better. And then as far as like legacy, I love that you asked that question because my dad, he was a badass. But he spent his career, like the first part of his career as like a trades plumber, like a pipe fitter.
Yeah.
And then when he was 40, he changed careers to become a firefighter, which was like a lifelong dream for him.
Yeah.
And so, and that's like a huge transition.
Yeah.
He still did like pipe fitting on the side to like, did like odd jobs and stuff like that. But he, went and pursued his dream. He was competing against like 20-year-olds. He had like a family to support while he was doing this.
Yeah.
And for me, that always really taught me that like, it's never too late, like to follow your dreams and to make a change and to be brave. And so that's really like, something that I carry with every day. And it's a big part that like motivates me into my career transition right now. And then also like losing someone you love, like really just instills like how real death is. And we think that we can live forever, but like life is limited and we don't know how much time we have.
Right.
We're all on some kind of
Somebody's
clock
Yeah.
that we don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, every day when I tell people that I'm going to transition out of like a county, they're like, oh, but like your pension and retirement and this and that. And I'm like, who knows if I'm even going to get there?
Exactly.
I'm not telling anyone to be like financially, irresponsible, but like obviously I'm like planning for a good future. But I'm just saying like life is too short to like bank on a pension, which like who even knows if the government's still gonna have my pension in 30 years?
That's
You know what I mean? Like
very fair.
That's ridiculous. And like at any moment I could drop dead. Like I don't know. And so I want to make like the time here count and I want to make him proud. And so I think about that a lot. And yeah, just living to my full potential, really.
I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll end on a happy note, on a lighter note. Speaking about alcohol, what's your favorite cocktail?
I am a spicy margarita girly all day.
Okay.
I like it. I like spicy, but I think if I had to choose, if I could like had to like eliminate all other alcohol and I could only choose one for the rest of my life, it'd be red wine.
Oh, all right.
But if I'm going out for a cocktail, definitely spicy margarita.
All right. Well, there we go. We got a little red wine tequila combo.
Love it.
Good to go.
All my favorite things right here.
Maddie, I appreciate you for joining me today. It was a pleasure getting to know you a little bit more. Thank you for giving me your time and just having a good time. You made a fantastic cocktail.
Yes.
She will be bartending in Las Vegas
Hey.
coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching this episode. Give it a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, tip your bartender. And that's all we got. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I appreciate that. Last little sip here.
Chug.
Woo.
It's good stuff.